Alright, hello everybody. Today I want to be talking about the 7.3 patch notes specifically for Rdruid. So obviously we see Rdruid getting a look into some changes to their tier set, which has not been a problem at all. And yet there are no changes for the Rdruid T19 4-piece, which currently is plaguing Druids. So for anyone who is unaware, Tier 19 Druid is basically mandatory to equip. Every Druid who has killed Mythic Kil'jaeden to this point is wearing Tier 19 4-piece. It is the only spec in the game that still uses its Tier 19 4-piece over its new Tier 20 4-piece, just because of how strong the 4-piece is. So a very simple change for this would be to nerf the Tier 19 4-piece and then buff back up Druid, remove that 4% aura nerf that they put in when 7.2.5 came out. Now if we look at the 7.2.5 changes, obviously Druid was well in front of the pack, and that was purely because of the interaction between the T19 4-piece and the legendary shoulders, which just increased the amount of ticks we got on rejuvenation. Obviously more ticks equals more free rejuvenations, endless circle of rejuvenations. Druids were doing amazing healing. So instead of fixing both sides of the pendulum, they decided to nerf Druid by 4% and then just address the shoulders. As we see now, that's why we're in this really horrible situation where T19 4-piece is basically mandatory for any high-end progression on a Druid. Is this a problem? To me personally, I think it is a rather large issue. I don't like having to wear 905 pieces of gear. I don't like having to wear heroic hands that are 890. I don't like being 10 item levels under what my bag level is. It's just a kind of annoying situation to be in. When I look into Mythic Tumos Sagaris, I see less upgrades there than I do from going to go do a Mythic Nighthold, which is really quite disappointing to see. So again, real simple change, won't really cause too much disruption. Nerf Tier 19, maybe bring down the 1.5% to 1% and then buff the aura back up on Druids. Hopefully this will give us some more gameplay choices. We won't be taking the same talents, germination for life. Give us some different builds, let us play around with Soul the Forest, do some other stuff. Really I feel like this would be quite healthy. I just want to bring this up because obviously 7.3 patch notes are coming out. We see changes to Feral Druid sets because of how they're currently interacting with the new changes. We see changes to Elemental Shaman set, yet we don't see any changes to one of probably the worst position tier sets, which is Tier 19 4-piece for the Druid. Alright, if you agree with what I said, let me know. I would love to hear any kind of counterpoints to it or some better suggestions you have. Obviously another way to go about it is buff Tier 20 to make it more attractive, but I feel like Tier 20 is already good enough. It's just that Tier 19 is just that much better and is just way more suited to where Druid excels, as opposed to turning us into a melee healer, which really is not ideal in the current raid situation. So anyway, let me know if you think, and thanks for watching.